The Black Power movement emerged in the mid-1960s as a bold and uncompromising response to the slow pace and limited scope of the mainstream civil rights movement. While earlier civil rights activism had focused on legal reforms, nonviolent protest, and integration, the Black Power movement represented a shift toward self-determination, cultural pride, economic empowerment, and a more militant stance against white supremacy. It was born from frustration with incremental change and a desire for immediate, radical transformation in the lives of Black Americans. The movement's formal introduction to the national stage came in 1966, when Stokely Carmichael, later known as Kwame Ture, then the chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, shouted, "Black Power," during a march in Mississippi following the shooting of activist James Meredith. Carmichael's call resonated with thousands of young Black Americans who were disillusioned with the federal government's failure to protect Black lives and rights, despite a decade of civil rights legislation and activism. Black Power became both a slogan and a philosophy, demanding Black autonomy, political self-representation, community control, and liberation by any means necessary. Key figures of the Black Power movement included Stokely Carmichael, who helped define the term in philosophy, Malcolm X, whose earlier critiques of integration and calls for Black self-defense laid the ideological groundwork, and organizations like the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, co-founded by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale in Oakland, California in 1966. The Panthers rejected nonviolence as the default and instead organized armed patrols to monitor police activity in Black neighborhoods. At the same time, they launched community programs, including free breakfast for children, health clinics, and educational initiatives offering tangible support to underserved Black communities. The movement also elevated Black cultural pride, being heavily influenced by thinkers like Amiri Baraka. Afros, dashikis, and raised Black fists became symbols of resistance and pride. Educational institutions began to introduce Black studies programs, and slogans like "Black is beautiful" challenged centuries of racial indoctrination. The impact of the Black Power movement was profound and far-reaching. It challenged the American status quo and forced both the government and the civil rights organizations to reevaluate their approaches to Black liberation. Though often vilified in mainstream media, the movement catalyzed a greater awareness for institutional racism and inspired subsequent generations to fight for racial justice, from the anti-apartheid struggle to the founding of movements like Black Lives Matter. While the movement faced state repression, including FBI surveillance, harassment, and the assassination or imprisonment of many of its leaders, it left behind a legacy of empowerment, dignity, and uncompromising resistance. The Black Power movement fundamentally reshaped the consciousness of Black America. It redefined the liberation struggle, not as a plea for inclusion, but as a demand for sovereignty, justice, and respect. To all the leaders and the members of the Black Power movement, we proudly stand on your shoulders. For more information, please visit my website at www.ontheshoulders1.com. There, you can support my OTSOG book series. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OTSOG. And you can hit the super like button under this video. You can also join this channel as a member. I love you all, and make sure you catch the next video coming up.